You're just sitting there, minding your own business, and then out of nowhere your mouth just opens, and you yawn. Your teacher sees it, and suddenly they yawn. Then the person behind them yawns. It spreads like a virus with absolutely zero shame. And here's the thing. You probably just yawned reading that, didn't you? Why does this happen? What is your body actually doing? And why on earth is it contagious? Most people think it's about oxygen. Like, your lungs need a big gulp of air. Wrong. Scientists tested this. Extra oxygen doesn't stop yawning at all. Others say it's because you're bored. But here's the problem. People yawn on roller coasters, right before jumping out of planes. Boredom has nothing to do with it. Okay, fine, you say. It means I'm tired. Also not quite right. People yawn immediately after waking up from 12 hours of sleep. So, what is going on? Here's the truth, and I'm warning you, it's weirder than you think. Let's start with what actually happens inside your body during those 6 bizarre seconds. Because something very specific is going on in there. And once you know it, you'll never see a yawn the same way again. When you yawn, your jaw drops to its absolute limit. Your eardrums stretch. Your throat opens up like a tunnel. It's basically a full face workout happening in slow motion. At the same time, your lungs inflate. Your diaphragm, that's the muscle under your lungs, pushes all the way down. It's one of the biggest stretches your body does automatically. The whole thing lasts about 6 seconds on average. 6 seconds for something you do without thinking. Your body is surprisingly committed to this. Your heart rate even spikes during a yawn, just slightly, then drops back down. Your body briefly goes alert, then settles. We'll come back to why that matters. And by the way, the jaw stretch in a yawn, it's basically the same angle as a snake opening its mouth to swallow something huge. You and a python. Not so different after all. Ever tried to stop a yawn halfway through? You know that face you make, eyes watering, cheeks puffed, face going red. The yawn always wins. And when it finally finishes, that wave of relief is real. Something in your body just got reset. Here's something wild. Fetuses yawn inside the womb at just 11 weeks old, before they have lungs that even work properly. Yawning starts before you're even born. Fish yawn, hippos yawn, snakes yawn. Basically everything with a jaw yawns. This isn't a human thing. This is an ancient thing. In fact, yawning is one of the oldest behaviors in all vertebrates, meaning animals with backbones have been doing this for hundreds of millions of years. The T-Rex yawned. Let that sink in for a second. But here's where it gets interesting. Scientists have been studying yawning for decades, and they still don't fully agree on why we do it. There are 2 main theories. Both are fascinating. Let's go. Theory 1. Your brain is overheating. Not literally on fire, but it runs warm. And when it gets too warm, something needs to cool it down. When you yawn, you open your mouth wide. Cool air floods in, and that air travels directly toward your brain. Think of it as emergency air conditioning. The brain temperature drops, the yawn ends, and your brain goes back to running normally. Simple as that, if this theory is right. And there's real evidence. Studies show that people yawn significantly more in warm rooms. The warmer the room, the more the yawns. Step outside into cold air, yawning drops dramatically. Your brain is already cool enough, no need to open the vent. Researchers even tested this with cold packs. Hold something cold against your forehead. Yawning goes down. Brain already chilled. Crisis avoided. Hold something warm against your forehead. Yawning shoots up almost immediately. Your brain is running hot and it wants that cool air in. This is also why you yawn when your brain is working hard. Too many calculations happening at once. Temperature creeping up, yawn triggered, cooling system activated. Morning yawns make total sense now too. Your body temperature actually rises during the last stage of sleep, preparing you to wake up. Brain gets warm. You yawn before you even open your eyes. Tired yawns, same thing. Your brain is slowing down, but it's still warm from all that thinking. Yawn equals cool it down. Get it ready to either sleep or push through. Think of your skull as a laptop. Your brain is the CPU, and your mouth, when you yawn, is the cooling vent popping open. Now, to be fair, this is still a theory, solid evidence, but not proven beyond all doubt. Science loves keeping us on our toes. Multiple researchers have published studies saying, "We're pretty sure," which in science basically means we're working on it. Okay, theory 2. This one is my favorite. You yawn, and the person next to you yawns. Why? You can trigger it just by reading the word yawn, like I just did to you. You're welcome. You can even trigger it by thinking about yawning. The thought alone is enough. Your brain is genuinely out of control on this one. The reason is mirror neurons. These are brain cells that fire when you do something, and when you see someone else do it. They're basically your brain's copy-paste function. And here's the empathy part. You catch yawns more from people you're close to. A friend yawns. You yawn instantly. A total stranger yawns. Your brain barely registers it. Studies show that between 40 and 60% of people catch a yawn just from seeing one. That means right now, roughly half of you watching this are yawning. Dogs catch yawns from their owners. Your dog isn't yawning because they're tired. They're yawning because they are connected to you. That's either adorable or deeply unsettling. Your call. Chimpanzees catch yawns from each other, even from watching yawn videos on a screen, which means, yes, chimps and humans are both weak to yawn content. Even birds do it. Budgies yawn in a wave down a perch. Nature really said no species is immune. And here's the fascinating bit. People who score lower on empathy tests are less susceptible to contagious yawning. Your ability to catch a yawn is literally connected to how much you care about others. Children under 4 years old don't catch yawns at all. Their empathy wiring isn't fully developed yet, so babies sit in a room full of yawning adults, completely unbothered. This contagious yawning is ancient. Think about early humans sitting around a fire at night. One person yawns, signals, "I'm getting tired." The whole group catches it. Everyone sleeps at the same time. Sleeping together meant staying alive together. One person awake while others slept. Dangerous. Synchronized sleep meant synchronized safety. Contagious yawning was a survival tool. We still do it today. Last period of school, 3 p.m. Teacher yawns. Entire class yawns simultaneously. Ancient wiring, modern classroom, same result. Yawning is basically social Wi-Fi for tiredness. Your body is broadcasting a signal, and everyone around you is connected to the same network. Now, there's one more layer to this. Yawning doesn't just happen when you're tired or bored. It spikes at transition moments, waking up, going to sleep, switching tasks. Olympic athletes yawn right before competing, right before the most important moment of their lives. Mouth opens, big yawn, then they go. Paratroopers yawn before jumping out of planes, not because planes are boring, because their body is shifting gears, from waiting to action. A yawn is your nervous system changing state, like a gear shift. Rest mode, click, alert mode. The yawn is the sound the gearbox makes. This is why yawning during an exciting movie makes sense. Your brain just finished a high-focus stretch, and it's transitioning. Nothing to do with the film. That nervous yawn before a big exam, first day of school, start of a match, your body isn't giving up. It's gearing up. Your brain pulls a lever, state change, and the yawn fires. It's not weakness, it's preparation. Your whole nervous system is switching over. Low activity to high activity. Yawn is the startup sound. So the next time you yawn in a meeting, you're not being rude. You're transitioning between cognitive states. That's science. Tell your boss. To summarize so far, boredom triggers transitions. Transitions trigger yawns. That's the chain. You are now scientifically justified for every yawn you've ever done. You're welcome. Your teacher still isn't convinced, but you have the receipts. Okay, Bonus facts, because yawning gets weirder. Some animals yawn for several minutes straight, hippos especially. The jaw just stays open indefinitely. Excessive yawning, like dozens of times an hour, can actually be a sign something's wrong neurologically. Your brain flagging an issue. Worth knowing. Yawning lubricates your ears. Those tiny little maintenance workers inside your ear canal, they get their oil during every yawn. Your ears are quietly getting serviced right now. That popping sensation when you yawn on a plane, that's your eardrum equalizing pressure. Yawning is literally fixing your ears mid-flight. It's a built-in repair tool. And blind people catch contagious yawns too, just from hearing the sound of one. It's not visual at all. The yawn signal travels through sound alone. Try this right now. Yawn with your mouth completely closed. Go ahead. Try. You cannot do it. A yawn requires the jaw to drop. There is no other way. When you yawn, your eardrums get stretched sideways, like a rubber sheet being pulled. You're basically doing a tiny eardrum workout 5 to 10 times every single day. Penguins use yawning as a courtship ritual. They stand face to face and yawn at each other dramatically. This is how penguins flirt. Romantic, truly. Guinea pigs yawn as a dominance display. A tiny 200-gram animal opens its mouth at something 10 times its size and wins. Yawning also releases a small amount of dopamine, feel-good chemicals. That wave of relief at the end of a yawn, that's real. Chemically real. The average person yawns 5 to 10 times a day, which means by the time you're 20, you've yawned somewhere around 50,000 times. You've been busy. And yes, you've yawned again since we started talking about this. I know, I planned it that way. Scientists have studied yawning for decades, written hundreds of papers, and still, do not fully understand it. One of the most common things your body does, still a mystery. So here's where we land. 3 things are probably happening every time you yawn. 1, your brain is cooling itself down. 2, you're switching between mental states. 3, you're connecting with the people around you. Every yawn is doing all 3 at once. Cooling your brain, changing your gears, sending a social signal. Your body figured out how to do all of that in 6 seconds, automatically, for free. Ancient humans yawned around fires. You yawn on a couch watching this video. Same wiring, same signal. 65 million years of evolution, and the yawn has survived all of it. If you want to try the penguin technique, dramatic eye contact, slow yawn, I'm not stopping you. Results may vary. And maybe the most mind-bending fact of this entire video, you started yawning before you were born, at 11 weeks in the womb. Before you had a name, before anyone knew you existed, you were already yawning. Case mostly closed, mostly. You're yawning right now, aren't you? I know. You literally cannot help it, and now you know exactly why. Somewhere out there, the whole world is yawning, in classrooms, on planes, in the deep ocean. One giant synchronized signal that's been running since before the dinosaurs.